Good afternoon, everyone. Here from Toronto, Canada. Good morning, good evening, anywhere you are. Welcome to my online biz talk episode 03 with Matt Sherb. Matt is an online entrepreneur, a family man with two kids. He started his online business journey about 3 years ago. Matt comes from a corporate world in the travel industry. To you, Matt, please give us a short introduction about you, who you are, and how did you start this journey? Tell us about yourself.
Sure, awesome. Well, first of all, thank you very much for having me. It's great. I mean, we're both based here in Ontario. I'm just outside of Toronto. You're in Toronto itself, and I'm out here just west of Toronto. My wife, two boys. My sons are both older. One is in university. One just finished university. So, my focus has been more so on my retirement and what I want to do in my golden years per se. As you said, my background's in the travel industry, and I left about 15 years ago. I got a package, was in the travel industry, and lots of changes happened in the travel industry, and the company had a merger. So I got a package, and I decided on that day. My children at the time were 8 and 3 years old, and I decided that if I was to self-employ, I could spend more time with them. So I was kind of that dad that went on all those field trips and the school trips and things like that. But I spent a lot of time in the online world setting up businesses on eBay and Amazon and drop shipping and affiliate marketing. So I've been doing that now for, I'll say, the better part of 15 years, 16 years. And for me, it was always building my lifestyle sort of with the end in sight. And that is, to be able to travel, to be able to be tethered to a Wi-Fi signal and not have a business that I'm tied to a brick and mortar store. Right. I want to have something that's online because I love to travel. My wife and I, we love to travel and we love to see the world. And obviously with the pandemic, that's shifted a bit the last couple of years. But for all intents and purposes, that's what our goal is to obviously have our children all set up so that we can actually see the world, because we just love to travel. So for the last 15 years being online, different models, loved doing things online, had great success. And then over the last 3 years, I was sort of taking a look to see what can I change in my model for what I want to do. And I came across this business, which is a little bit different in that it has autoresponders. It has all the scale technology, which I didn't have when I was in a smaller business. When I had my eBay business, I was a solopreneur working on my own. But for me, it's all about being online. It's a time in our lives that we're probably never going to see again, but it's going to be here for a while, right? It's not like tomorrow the internet's going away, but it's just ramping up, and it's just incredible what you can do in this day and age. So that's a little bit of background on me.
Yeah, amazing, amazing. So you touch base on quite a lot of things in this introduction, and thank you very much. Very very detailed. So first of all, just to summarize, this allows you to save a nest egg for your future. So this is your golden egg for your retirement. But on the other hand, like many other online entrepreneurs, they favor more time with their family. So you have taken the decision to retire from your um, corporate job to have that time and to not lose on occasions with your family, which is actually it's key to grow side by side with your family. And again, like you mentioned, this is a long term entrepreneurial journey. This is not going anywhere. The internet is an infinite pool of customers at your fingertips that you can reach, right? So it is definitely the long term. And as like as the internet grows, as the digital world grows, now everything is becoming virtual, right? So businesses turn into the virtual world, and all interactions are done. All business interactions, marketing interactions are now done virtually. So definitely a good time to be doing a business online. And as the economy shifts, there is a mindset a shift in the economy, and in this mindset is definitely steering towards online on the online world and digital world for sure.
Yeah,
Uh,
the digital world. There's one aspect to that is you've got clients all around the world. It shrinks the borders. It shrinks the world into really to your computer. And so that's a big part. But then on the flip side, if you stay in the employed environment and you get your 0.75% salary increase every year, inflation this year is way higher than 0.75%. And we're seeing that in fuel prices, we're seeing it at the grocery stores. And so you need to take a look and see what else can you do that can scale quickly. I'm not saying you necessarily have to do this full time yourself, although you're capable of doing that. But if you're going to be in an employed environment, and I'm not bashing employee situations, people love to be employees. People love to do their dream type of thing. If you've studied in university, like my one son loves to do computer programming, awesome, right? But if he has a reliance strictly on an income that is job related, your raises aren't going to be as high as what's going on with inflation right now. And we're seeing some really, really critical things happening right now in the economy worldwide. It's not a Canadian thing or a US thing, it's worldwide. And so, a plan B or additional income is definitely a way that you've got to see for the future. It's no longer, I wouldn't even say it's an insurance, it's more so an insurance policy now, because if you don't have it, if you lose your job, you're in big trouble. But that said, it's also able to help you through pandemic, through inflation, and that kind of idea.
it's definitely a lifeline. It's definitely a plan B, like you said. And with COVID in the past 3 years, I think a lot of people came to the realization that job insecurities are real. It is not a joke. The way we grow as employees, like most of us, a lot of us are very passionate about their job. I'm the living example. I'm very passionate about my job, but I know that my growth will not be as expandable as if I was in an online world where I know it will be so much more an exponential growth compared to what I receive yearly in my day by 9 to 5.
Yeah,
And with the COVID is not only a health crisis, COVID is an economical crisis as well, and it has affected households drastically. People have lost their jobs. People have lost their houses. We're just not aware of it because we are in our own nest egg and we don't really see it happening around us. But really, people have to find their plan B, supplement their income. So that's your getaway basically to sustain a lifestyle and to secure a future for yourself first, but also if you have a family, your kids, right?
absolutely.
Excellent, excellent. So now you mentioned that you have tried Amazon, you have tried eBay, so all this e-commerce platform. So it's funny. So it's this business that we're in is a bit of um, it's not a it's a type of franchise, but not really. So it is not a we do not sell a product, but we sell a service, right? So how did you come across this opportunity, and why did you choose this opportunity versus when you compare it to an e-commerce business? What is the difference? What are the advantages of this
Sure.
business?
Sure. So when you're in a product-based business like eBay or Amazon happens to be, I was drop shipping products, so I didn't have inventory, so I loved that. When I was doing some of my other businesses on Amazon or affiliate, I wasn't really dealing with having to take inventory. So that was my preference, the way I set up my business, because as soon as I take inventory, I've got debt. Right. And so didn't want to have inventory. So that was one check in the box. If I want to be running this business from a beach somewhere in the Caribbean or somewhere in the South Pacific, I can't have product that I physically have to ship unless I employ some employees with regards to it. So I always was looking and put this whole, again, this plan together of what my end goal is, and that is to be able to travel. As I had my business running and I had success, I mean, I was doing mattresses on eBay. I was shipping mattresses all over North America and having some great success with that. But I found that there was technology that I needed. I had to be able to scale my business. I'd have to make a technology investment, a substantial investment into my business. So I thought, okay, I'm at a point right now where I could make this investment, or I could see if there's another business that also has technology tools in it. And so I then set out and put a laundry list together of the things that I wanted in this business and what I wanted going forward. So I wanted to have some sort of autoresponder system. I wanted to have some sort of a sales funnel. And so as I was researching and looking at different things, I wanted to have something that's more of an affiliate model or drop shipping model because I don't want to have inventory. So again, I had this laundry list, and it's interesting, you know, when you put these laundry lists together and you start searching things online, magic starts to happen in social media. You start seeing these ads showing up, whether it's in YouTube or Facebook or LinkedIn, because you might be researching for an autoresponder. You might be researching for some sort of an online business, or you might be researching for some other opportunity. And all of a sudden, I'm seeing these ads popping up in my stream. And by doing so, I started clicking on ads and seeing what was out there. And some had some of the things that I checked off, and some of these opportunities didn't. But this opportunity that I'm working with now and that you're working with had everything that I was looking for. It had education, it had social media, it had autoresponders, it had a sales funnel. So I could go through the whole laundry list, but this one checked all the boxes. And I did my due diligence, did some research on the business, and I figured, yeah, this checks all the boxes. And I was able to, without having to pay for all that technology I would have had to incur the cost of in my online business that I had at the time, I was able to transition quite smoothly to this. Now, that doesn't mean that I had a lot of knowledge of working online. In fact, a lot of people that I work with and mentor, and you mentor, don't necessarily have a good understanding of what to do online, how to build websites, and all this other stuff. And all of that is parceled into this package, as you said, in this franchise model or in this turnkey business. So for me, that's how I found it. It was in a social media ad that people see, and I just did some research and fell in love with this model, and I'm able to help people worldwide build their own dreams, build their own business, build their own online, and it doesn't have to be just in Toronto, it's worldwide.
Yeah, yeah. It's a definitely a proven and tested system, a global system, and I'm proud to say it's actually a Canadian-based system, and that has proven to connect so many people around the world. You touch base on a lot of things. Yeah, you have to have a laundry list. It's very important to have of a target list of what you want, right? What you want a system to do for you, what do you want to spend time on, what do you want to spend money on, right? And then you cater and choose what you want that will work for you. Then you obviously, like I said, it's automated, right? Everything is done for you. The backbone of the system does the work for you, right? So, and the fact that it is automated, that's what literally gives you that freedom, right? That time freedom, and also the location freedom to focus on other things like family in your case, like traveling in your case, right?
Mhm.
And the fact that we don't have to keep any inventory, right? That's very important as well, right? We do not have, there is no risk. The risk is alleviated because you not don't have an inventory, so there is no risk for you to lose money, right? But but more so to make money. But obviously, uh, everyone asks sometimes, where is the catch here? Well, like to what I respond here, like any business, there is an investment, right? There is, but when you compare it to other businesses, other franchise, and if you even when you think about it long term and you think about your return, it is this investment is not the 1/8 of what you're gonna spend on, like for example, Amazon by stocking products or eBay. by paying monthly fees just to get a store on eBay, right? Where in this business you don't have to pay a monthly fee, you don't have to pay a yearly fee, right?
Right.
So that's a plus.
Yeah.
So yeah, so really this business is catered to work for you, but at the same time there is obviously an effort that you have to produce to get the results you want.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, and the other thing to keep in mind, as you say, there's an investment required, but there's also a time investment as far as you having to put the work in. It's not a get rich quick scheme. Oh,
oh
just
for
do
sure.
this, and all of a sudden everything's going to magically appear. You have to put the effort in, right? You're advertising, but the thing is, you're able to leverage your time because the system's already built for you.
Yeah,
And social media is at the forefront and the real backbone of the lead generation here. And there is so much to be said about all the different platforms and how you can build your business. Like it's
yeah.
incredible how social media has changed the landscape of how business is done, and you can't lose sight of that.
Yeah, yeah, definitely a lot of benefits into plugging in into this system for sure. And like you said, the education portion is huge. It's a very detailed step by step training. A very constructive training when it comes to whatever. If you're not technical savvy, you'll have the step by steps to do your advertisement, to do your content on social media. You will learn about branding. You will learn about art creation. You'll have experts surrounding you. It's a community, right? We all help each other. We all here for each other. We support each other. We want to see each other succeed, right? There is no competition whatsoever in this business. Yeah, so it definitely is something to consider, and also it saves you a lot of time and research, right?
Right.
Because it's a plug and play system.
Right.
So to wrap up, how does this business impact your day to day, your lifestyle? Um, and what would be some last words you will give to people that are on the fence and considering to join this digital business?
So, how has it changed my life? Certainly, being able to pay debt, put savings together for retirement is certainly something that's there, which is awesome. But I think as well, sort of, I'd have to say there's also a lot of self-inflect in looking at yourself and learning about things for yourself. That has been great for me. It's been an educational road. It's a journey at the end of the day. But, the one thing I'd say is sort of as a parting thought is, for the people that are watching, whether it's live or up via replay, we've got people from Canada, we've got people here from Switzerland, which is fantastic. And people are going to watch the replay, and that's good too. Being an online business owner, you want to educate yourself. It's not for everybody, right? It certainly can be for everybody, but it's not for everybody. Some people don't want to be online business owners. But if it even piques your interest, you've got webinars twice a week that people just can learn a little bit more about the system. So it's best just head to the website, put in your name and email address, and just register and see. An hour and a half webinar that teaches you everything that from soup to nuts as far as what we do in this business. So just educate yourself and see if it's for you. And if it is, great. If it's not, no harm done. But it might be something that at least piques your interest and you can learn a little bit more. And so the first step is really just to learn and educate yourself about the system, and then go from there.
Yeah,
And as I say, it's not for everybody. There's people that just don't want to be self-employed. That's okay, but educate yourself, because we
yeah,
are in a very interesting time in history with regards to how online businesses are running and how well they can do.
yeah, yeah. Definitely. Watching the webinar, no strings attached. Get informed. Let your curiosity carry you. Uh, get carried by your curiosity for 90 minutes. That's all it takes. We all started there. Some of us decided to take the leap of faith and keep keep moving forward with it. And some of us said, "This is not for me. I'm not ready." And some of us came back actually. So,
Yeah.
well, Matt, this has been a very constructive discussion. Your experience and knowledge are very I'm very impressed by your experience and knowledge in the business. Thank you very much for taking the time today, and we will definitely stay in touch.
Thanks so much for having me. It was great to be here.
Thank you. Have a good afternoon, everyone.
Bye,
Bye
everyone.
now.